Standing before the mirror in a darkened room, the dim flicker of a candle makes your own face seem like someone else's, as if the glass is a gateway to another world where time and light obey different rules. Saying mirror ghost's name 3 times is something most people dare not do. Yet countless stories claim that those who do so experience strange visions or sensations. The roots of this ritual stretch back to old beliefs about mirrors being portals for souls, which is why, in parts of Europe, mirrors were once covered after a death so the spirit would not be trapped. In the 19th century English and American folk customs, young women gazed into mirrors hoping to glimpse their future husbands, sometimes reciting a name. And over time, these playful rites evolved into frightening tales. Today, personal testimonies abound. A U.S. college student recounts standing with friends chanting the name until the lights went out, and a shadowy figure appeared in the glass. Another describes no visible figure but a sudden oppressive presence beside her. Psychologists point out that low light, expectation, and fear can trigger visual hallucinations, while flickering candles distort facial features, making even your own reflection look alien. And these effects combine into the classic mirror ghost sighting. Behind the legend lies a tangle of historical figures: Mary Tudor, Mary Queen of Scots, accused witches, and unnamed tragic women, merged into one powerful symbol. Over centuries, the name Mary has become a kind of cultural echo, representing women wronged or feared, punishment, and the supernatural. In films, TV series, and video games, mirror ghost appears in many guises. Sometimes a vengeful spirit, sometimes an innocent victim, each version keeping her alive as a modern folk icon. On social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, mirror ghost challenges go viral as teenagers record themselves invoking her, some reporting nothing, others feeling something eerie, turning an old legend into a 21st century social experiment about how fear and anticipation shape behavior. For anyone trying the ritual tonight, the experience may be nothing more than a shiver or a distorted reflection, but writing down what you felt is to participate in a living cultural ceremony. Whether mirror ghost is a real vengeful ghost, a forgotten queen, or only a symbol, her name spoken in front of a mirror still sends a thrill down the spine. And that blend of fear, curiosity, and imagination is what keeps her legend alive around the world. The old house on the edge of town had stood empty for decades, its windows blind with dust. Yet tonight a small group of students crept inside carrying only a candle and a phone to record their bravery, drawn by online stories claiming the mirror ghost was strongest here. The hallway smelled of mildew and forgotten perfume, and when they found a cracked gilt-framed mirror still hanging in an upstairs bedroom, they set the candle on a warped dresser, its flame trembling as if it already knew what was coming, and pressed record, whispering the name 3 times with nervous laughter that died in their throats at the echo of their own voices. For the room seemed to swallow sound. The mirror's surface quivered like a pool of dark water, and their faces, reflected together, stretched and blurred into strangers with hollow eyes, until one of them swore he saw another figure behind them, a pale outline too tall and too still to be human. And the temperature dropped so sharply their breath showed white, though it was summer. Yet when they spun around, the room was empty, except for the shifting shadows of the candle. They tried to dismiss it as nerves, but the recording later played back a 4th voice, whispering words none of them could identify. A whisper that crawled across the audio like frost. Back at their dorm, sleep eluded them, each catching glimpses of movement in the corners of mirrors or hearing soft knocks from their bathroom glass. And one girl woke to find her reflection smiling a heartbeat after she stopped, her phone camera capturing only static. Researchers later told them the phenomenon matched well-documented mirror-induced illusions and pareidolia heightened by fear. But even the skeptics admitted the voice on the recording sounded like a sob, mixed with a laugh. And an old librarian who heard their story muttered that the mirror ghost sometimes follows those who call her, moving from glass to glass like a ripple. Tracing the legend deeper, they uncovered letters from the 1870s describing a young woman accused of poisoning her employer who vanished before trial, and whose room contained a shattered mirror smeared with soot, and another diary from 1913 in which a servant claimed the lady's face had appeared in a hotel washroom mirror, warning her of a fire moments before it broke out. A mixture of vengeance and warning that confused the boundary between curse and protection, whether these accounts were true or embroidered. They gave the students the sense of being part of a centuries-long chain of daring souls, seeking proof of something beyond the veil, each adding another layer to the story, until the ghost herself became a composite of countless fears, injustices, and secret hopes. In the weeks that followed, the group felt both bonded and estranged, bound by an experience they could not explain but reluctant to speak of aloud. Until one evening, the original girl returned alone to the same house, determined to confront the reflection again, setting up 3 mirrors to form a triangle around her and lighting a ring of candles, writing down every word she spoke as if making a contract. The silence thickened until her own heartbeat sounded like footsteps behind her, and the air pressed close. And in the glass she saw not a monster, but a young woman in a torn dress, eyes wet with rage or grief, who raised a hand as if asking for help, and then dissolved into smoke. The girl reached out instinctively, her fingers touching only cold glass. But when she looked down, she found a dark smear like ash on her palm, and a single word traced on the inside of the mirror: remember. Before the candles all went out at once, she stumbled outside into the warm night, gasping. Yet the ash mark remained, and though she never returned to the house, she began to research forgotten women accused of crimes they never committed, turning her experience into a blog read by thousands who began sharing their own mirror stories, transforming the old ritual into a crowdsourced archive of visions and fears. Some entries were obvious pranks, others moving testimonies of comfort, warning, or unexplainable dread. And over time, the mirror ghost shifted again from an image of pure terror to a symbol of unheard voices pressing at the edge of our perception. A dark reflection not only of our faces, but of our history, our guilt, and our need to believe that across the silvered surface someone might still reach back.